All. CBS's Mola Lenghi is going to lead off our coverage tonight from New York. Good evening, Mola.
Well, good evening, Nora. As some hospitals are overwhelmed by new coronavirus cases, doctors are pleading with governors in some of the hardest hit Midwestern states to make masks mandatory in public.
On the front lines in Kansas City,
we're bursting at the seams.
8 hospitals are now turning away patients. ER Dr. Mark Larson heads the city's COVID response team.
As of 2 days ago, we hit our record inpatient capacity.
Mentally, emotionally, what does this do to a staff?
It adds stress, and it really does take a toll on the staff.
No state seems safe from the pandemic's fury. In the past 24 hours, at least 7 states set records for infections. 1 out of every 4 tests in Wisconsin is now coming back positive. Michigan has over 1,000 COVID patients in its hospitals for the first time since May. New Mexico is now reporting a second straight day of record-breaking cases and hospitalizations.
We're not succeeding at combating the virus. This is the most serious emergency that New Mexico has ever faced.
In Ohio, 29 of the state's counties are now under the highest state of alert. New cases are at their highest rate since the pandemic began.
There's a red tide flowing all over the state of Ohio.
In North Dakota, just 22 ICU beds remain in the entire state.
We are having a significant crunch in our hospital system.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says the border with America will remain closed until the U.S. can get COVID under control. So far, at least 32 college football games have been postponed, including tomorrow's showdown between Florida and LSU. And this from the Mayo Clinic, throwing a big scare into Halloween plans. Their advice: no trick-or-treating and no indoor Halloween parties. As the pandemic rages and hospitals brace for the next surge, doctors say so much of what's happening now is preventable.
It's exceedingly frustrating when there are these super spreader events. It's just irresponsible and it's insensitive to not take the extra time to put that little piece of fabric on there.
Well, also something we're keeping an eye on here in New York City. Of course, once the epicenter of the pandemic, some hospitals are now noticing a noticeable increase in coronavirus patients. One hospital administrator told me today that at this point there are isolated clusters, but no widespread outbreak, Nora.
Well, that's really concerning, Mola Lenghi.